15, 16 days of training camp that we've had.
Yeah, yeah. It's been rough, man.
It
It's
was
been rough.
very rough. Welcome to another episode of Believe in the Houston Texans. I am one part of your show, Ruben Calvillo. I am joined by the handsome man, as always, Harley Dugan. It was day 15 of training camp for the Houston Texans, but this day was a little bit special. It was joint practices with the Miami Dolphins. The second time CJ Stroud goes against another NFL defense, not being the Houston Texans. And the weather was fantastic today. It was more humid than hot. Like, would you rather be hot or humid, man?
I don't know. I don't like humidity, but
Okay.
it wasn't bad today. You had a
Mm.
slight breeze every once in a while. Like it was not bad. I enjoyed the weather today. I didn't sweat as much as I
Mhm.
usually do. Like it
No, it was a
was.
fun day today at
Mhm.
camp. Miami Dolphin Nation, they showed out.
Good for
Shout
them,
out
bro.
to them. We were sitting below a couple of rows from this Miami Dolphins guy, and at the very end, he let us have it, man. It was a very important day. You know, if you paid attention to our live a couple of days ago. Harley, just to start off, how was the vibe today at practice at training camp?
Immaculate, man.
Okay.
Immaculate. I mean, the eruption of the crowd for the very last play of training camp.
Ooh.
We're gonna get into that later. But everyone was hyped, man. Everyone was hyped. We were excited. Both teams looked excited. It
Uh-huh.
was good to see, the Texans beat on some other people besides themselves. So this was fun, man. The fans were ready. They showed out. Shout out to the Dolphins fans for showing up, showing out, doing their thing. But we got the last laugh at the end.
Yes, and practice the way they did it, it was the fans got to see the entire offensive Houston Texans offense against the Miami Dolphins defense. The Miami O versus the Houston Texans D. It was on the far side of the field. That's where all of the media people were. And let's just start with the defense, before they moved on to our side. We heard that there were two fights today, both broken up. So I lost the over under on 3 fights,
Mm.
but it was Christian Harris. But not only did he get into a fight, he picked off Tua Tagovailoa and took it back to the house. The first of two pick sixes for the Houston Texans defense.
Hey man, 48 want that house call, man.
Mm.
If anybody's been watching my YouTube channel, I had said I have a video with one guy from offense, one guy from defense. They're both separate videos. You want to check them out, you could always go to @delete_HOU. I have it on a Texans playlist. So you could just click that and you can scroll through what video it is. You'll see it. It's Christian Harris is my guy that I would highlight it as one of the defensive players to watch this training camp. I wanted to see the tutelage of D'Amico Ryans and what was he going to do when was going on, Flame, when he got his hands dirty with the linebackers. And then I know that sounded very
Mm.
X-rated, but I love it. D'Amico Ryans getting messy with the linebackers. We've seen Christian Harris, who we all believe to showcase himself into a hopeful, prominent linebacker in the NFL for many years. But we're not only seeing it with him, we're seeing
Mhm.
it with a Blake Cashman. He did not practice today, but he is a starter when he was second, third string last year.
Mhm.
So he is a potential starter now. We're seeing Henry T, who probably should not fell where he fell, and D'Amico is working with him nonstop. Christian Harris showed out defensively. He was the highlight,
Mm.
the guy that you had to keep watching on the defensive side. Yes, I know about Jalen Petrie, but Christian Harris had a day today.
Yeah, no, I think Christian Harris is one of the players we expect to take a huge jump under new head coach D'Amico Ryans. We also heard that Tua was picked off, multiple times when he was going against the Houston Texans D on the other sideline, right? You love to see that. And it was if I could describe today, right, I don't really want to say, oh, the Houston Texans just ran away with today, because it felt like a hard fought matchup throughout the entire practice. The Dolphins would win some plays, the Texans would win some plays. And when you talk about rookie quarterback CJ Stroud, we mentioned that we need to see him show himself as QB number one. And I believe he did that today. It wasn't an explosive day for CJ Stroud. There was no deep explosive plays, but it was the dink and dives. It was passes to tight end Dalton Schultz, who had himself a hell of a day. Another wide receiver who no one has mentioned, number 82, Steven Sims. Have
Mhm.
yourself a day. He looked good with
Sure.
CJ Stroud, looked good with Davis Mills. I think he even caught a pass from EJ Perry, too. Steven Sims has been
Yeah.
balling now. It's going to be a tough cut, in the wide receiver group. But overall, from CJ Stroud, I was very impressed and encouraged by what I saw.
Yeah, man, you talk about the dinks and dunks, and then he had a beautiful pass here and there. I couldn't remember it when I did my YouTube video. I don't remember if it was a touchdown. Maybe you remember. I couldn't remember if it was a touchdown or if it was just a pass over the middle ish to Tank Dell, where Tank Dell just jumped up and snagged it. But
Yeah, it
Stroud
was.
went out on a rollout, and then he just flicked it with the wrist, man. And it was like, whoa, that is a beautiful pass. And I see why the Texans coaches and local media are like, the ball just comes out different from CJ Stroud's hands. It's just, it is what it is. He's the number 2 pick overall
Hmm.
for a reason. He was one of the top quarterbacks in this draft for a reason. Super accurate. He was just lighting it up today in joint practice. It was excited to watch.
Yeah, no, I like it wasn't just big explosive plays. I like that he was, attacking the Miami defense after weakness, and they were giving the Houston Texans offensive line some trouble. Once again, we have to talk about George Fant just being dominated again at practice. And I said this was a good signing for Nick Casario, because it is, right. He's our starting right tackle, since Titus Howard are gone. But I need Titus Howard back ASAP. There was some sacks today, from the Miami Dolphins. Number 15, Jalen Phillips, is going to be a freaking monster. On the other side, though, you couldn't say that. Laramie Tunsil had himself a a day, but also there was one rep that got highlighted going against Pro Bowler Bradley Chubb and Laramie Tunsil. Bro, one hand blocking this dude with ease. And then you see Titus Howard in the background in the video just getting absolutely excited. And you know what, man? Shout out to Titus Howard. Ever since he broke his hand, he has still been there every single day. He's not doing contact, obviously, but he is working on the little stuff. His drop backs, where he needs to go as far as the run game and the passing game. Titus Howard, man, I'm surprised that he is there every single day.
Yeah, man. He's just a good teammate. I mean, what else can you say? He's a good
Hmm.
teammate. He's out there. He has his fingers taped
I
still,
saw that.
and you know why?
Why?
Because that is how he gets ready for game day. He
Mm,
tapes his fingers. Like, so he's going out there like if he's ready to play. So he's taping the fingers with the cast on. Like, he is ready to go out there and steamroll somebody like our boy 5'9" Kenyon Green did today. You think I wasn't gonna give my boy that
talk about
flowers?
that. Talk about that.
Sheesh. Every one of us were like, yo, you saw Kenyon Green? It was like, okay, he got into the second level,
Mm,
and I couldn't figure out who it was. And then I'm blanking on
don't know.
homeboy's name. Yeah, Dono was like number 51. And I mean, I'm talking steamrolled the linebacker, dropped them on his ass. Come on, man. Football, man, the most embarrassing thing in football is to get dropped on your ass.
Dude, it
Another grown man dropping you on your
he
ass.
was in the air. Like, I don't like, bro, we popped like this dude was in the WWE match. I was like, oh shit, because you saw him in the air, and then you see Kenyon Green just staring him down, and I'm like, that's what I need to see in year 2 from you, man.
Man, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It made me forget what the original question was now. What was the original question?
Damn, it was
Was it
I
George
forgot.
Fant? No, it was
Yeah,
Titus Howard. So
okay,
it
go
was
ahead.
Titus Howard and George Fant. I tried to hype up George Fant.
Hmm.
And he hasn't looked so god. I mean, he
Hmm.
hasn't. So look, I was looking at this like, oh, okay, this could be an underrated signing from Nick Casario, somebody that could come in. Again, this is only going to be a 1 to 4 week thing, 4 week being like
Hmm.
extremely, where Titus doesn't recover. 4 weeks is the max, but I think Titus comes back by at least week 2, week 3. Hopeful for week 1, obviously. But George Fant 2 years ago, like, I mean, I'm looking at his stats, I'm looking at his grades from PFF, I'm looking at all these analytics around him, and he's the third best pass blocking tackle
Hmm.
in the NFL just 2 years ago. And with Andrew Whitworth, and again, I can't remember the other guy's name, but he's up there with those two guys. And I'm like, dude, that's elite company to be with.
Hmm.
He had some problems with injuries last year. Gets cut, they didn't want to pay him, and obviously so it is what it is. But I'm thinking underrated signing. He just
Hmm.
hasn't looked so good, and I think at the end of the day, when he's next to a Shaq Mason, Drew
Hmm.
Scruggs, Kenyon Green, Larry Tunsil, like when he gets acclimated with those guys, plus he's playing. Well, he was playing right tackle today, and he got beat like a drum, like he said
Multiple times.
multiple times. I'm hoping that continuity plays out without training camp, and he can. I just need him to play a half decent game
Hmm.
against the Ravens. I just don't need my quarterback getting killed from the right tackle in George Fant because Texans fans don't know him. So all they're gonna do is they're gonna see he gets beat and be like, get this bum off the field. And you know how Texas fans can be very
Hmm.
overreactionary at times. And I mean, I understand it. If he goes out there and looks bad, I'll be like, get this guy out of the field, man.
Yeah. No, it was multiple plays. He was just getting, pushed in the backfield by number 15, Jalen Phillips. But overall, I think the performance of the offensive line in day one against the Miami Dolphins, was solid. I think CJ only got sacked maybe twice, and
Yeah.
both sacks came from the right side. So when Titus Howard is back, man, his offensive line is gonna get that much better. He was dominant at training camp right before he broke his hand. Encouraged by what the O line did today. Obviously, George Fan left a sour taste in all of our mouths, and that is something that we are going to be looking forward to tomorrow. These wide receivers, a a tough hard day for him, and it's not like any of the receivers had a bad day. Your number one was number 13, Tank Dell, who continues to be open no matter who the quarterback is,
Mm.
which is what made me like CJ Stroud's performance even more. Right when the wide receivers were being taken away, he hit Dawson Schultz consistently. And Dawson Schultz, he made a couple people miss, put some people on the spin move, and it gets you excited for what Dawson Schultz could bring. DJ Bieniemy said, "I will not be surprised if Dawson Schultz leads this team in targets." Well, after
Mm.
a day like today, I can see that, man. He was everywhere for CJ Stroud, and all of his plays were first downs, right? They were moving the chains, and shout out to CJ Stroud, for finding Dalton Schultz, and this offense, man, so much pre-snap movement. This the Miami defense, sometimes they lost where they were going. I was very encouraged by Dalton Schultz and this whole performance today with the wide receivers kind of being taken out.
Yeah. Besides Tank Dell, and you had some overthrows by C.J. Stroud, one to Xavier Hutchinson, one to Nico Collins. That apparently was Nico Collins' fault from a
I have no
fan.
issue with those throws.
No issue either. But I mean, I love it just because I know you're having the same mindset I am. I like that he's vertically challenging the
That's what I'm.
Dolphins secondary.
Hmm.
He's pushing the ball down the field, and he's throwing it to where, like you said in training camp next to me, he's throwing it to where only his receiver is going to be
Hmm.
able to get to that ball. He is not throwing it and trying to force it
Yes.
where it's potentially picked off.
Mm-mm.
Hey, kudos to him. He tried it multiple times.
Yeah, that's what I love about CJ.
Hmm. I love that too, man. It's great to finally uh, it, it's great to finally have a quarterback, man. I'll just say it. It's great to finally have a quarterback again. Someone to get actually hyped about, not someone to actually try to defend and try to hype up mid. Like, no, we got ourselves finally a damn quarterback
It was
that
Mafia, baby.
we can actually get excited about. Okay, we didn't have that since number 4. All right,
Mm.
and I'll be honest, I have no problem admitting that number 4 ripped our hearts out. So it is what it is, and that's an end of a chapter there. We're beginning a new one. We got number 7, we got 13. You talk about Schultz, the tight end group. I did not see a lot of TQ today. I really
Mm.
was hoping to see more of a Tegan Cotoriano, maybe a little double tight end set where you do pass with both of them. When I think of Schultz and Cotoriano, I really would love to see how they could work both of them together,
Mm.
because we saw in the Gary Kubiak days not only Owen Daniels, but we saw a Joel Dreesen who was very solid backup tight end for you. And then not only him, when he left, you had Gary Graham step in,
James Casey. Shout out to
and then
James Casey.
yeah, James Casey, who's now a coach for the Bengals, by the way, tight ends coach for the Bengals. So great for him out of Rice University. But James Casey, like you said, another guy that was a really good backup tight end for you. So I'm hoping that we got. I'm pretty sure they do, but I'm hoping we get to see a little bit more packages with the double tight
Hmm.
ends, where you keep using that formation of a double tight end, have an outside zone with your running back, but sooner or later that play action is going to kick. And we saw many times, they do that play action with Kubiak and Schaub, and they got the defense fooled.
Hmm.
And OD's wide open, or Andre's wide open deep, so that's what's going to set up a lot of things. Cotoriano's a really good blocker too. Schultz was fantastic today. It seemed like whenever you needed a first down, whenever you needed to move the chains, Schultz was there. Shout out to CJ finding him consistently.
Yeah, and before we continue, Robbie, yes, gentlemen, is there any good sports books you recommend for betting on NFL games in Texas? Bet online, man. Use our promo code capital BLEAV for a 50% bonus on your first deposit. Bet online is solid. I had to hit the Will Anderson Jr. plus 400 for defensive rookie of the year, man. Did you see his 2 reps today? And what a segue that was.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Robbie, for the slam dunk alley oop Dwayne Wade LeBron James style there. Let's get it on. Oh man, poor Austin Jackson. Yes, Austin Jackson was his name that got on the Texans Twitter social media video of Will Anderson just pushing him. I mean, there was no difference between Austin Jackson and a sled. There was
None.
no difference. There was no difference. He just pushed that man all the way back. It was like, oh man, this is sad. This is
No,
sad.
and then I think on the exact same play, they lined up again, and he made him jump. He false started the offensive lineman, and Will Anderson is already toying with these offensive linemen. Man, dude, he is gonna be just special. And as we switch back to the offense, what everyone, Mike asked if I missed anything. Yeah, Mike, it was quite a bit, man. 19 minutes,
Hey,
but that's okay, man. Go back, hop on Spotify, Believe in Texans podcast. This is episode 26 for me and Harley. Anytime you guys ever miss a live, just type that into Spotify, man, and it will be right there. And we will keep you up from now until the end of the season, man. We are dropping daily Houston, Texas content at the lead underscore Houston at 713 HSP. And boys, we're tired.
yeah,
It, I feel like I am in the middle of the season. I'm exhausted. We have to. Harley has to do it worse than me. He wakes up early, about 4 o'clock in the morning, and then goes to get in line. And I get there around 6 o'clock. So happy that Harley's there saving the spot. But Harley, man, shout out to to you and me, bro. We've been grinding ever since training camp has started for the Houston Texans.
When you get two guys that are actually passionate about what they want to do, actually want to create the content, actually love this team and love this city, you know, sure we're tired, but we continue to do it, man. We
Hmm.
love to do it. We love to, I got two messages on Instagram today, and it was like, bro, I saw you today. I can't wait for your video, man. What time are
Hmm.
you gonna drop your video? And I was like, man, cool. And the other message was like, dude, I just got out of work at 5 in the morning, and I saw that line, man. I was too tired, bro. I'm waiting for your video so I could get the latest on what
Hmm.
happened. That's what gets me going, man. I'm like, man, that's dope, bro. Like, I actually got people that are like, yo, man, I can't wait to watch Ruben's video. I can't wait to watch Harley's video. So as much as we say, we're tired, yeah, we're tired. Of course we are. But look where we're at. We got a damn red button flashing in our faces. We're here live. Believe in Texans podcast. Make sure you stream it anywhere on all your podcast platforms. We love to do this, man. So it's not even. I
And
mean,
T, you're capping. You're capping. You did not DM me. Make sure you DM that one 713 Houston Sportcast because I looked for it
call them out on
yesterday,
the live.
dude. Like, right? Call me out on the live, bro. I don't know what T is talking about. Um, why
Man,
the right tackle they just claimed on here? What? We have
what different?
a Houston Texan was just signed on the live.
I have no clue.
No
I haven't
clue
looked.
either.
Unless we're talking about Jackie Chan. Love me some Jackie
Stop.
Chan.
Oh, T, bro, I haven't had, dude. That Instagram is dead, bro. 713 Houston Sportcast, bro. You send it, and I'm going to be there, bro. You'll see all my stuff. That was the picture I took with the Astros assistant GM, the dude who got fired for screaming. Thank God we signed Roberto Osuna. So that was a shout out to old picture, man. But what we are here to talk about, brother, the red zone siege. I just saw the messages. The red zone work from CJ Stroud to Tank Dell
Mm,
should get you excited for this season. And
mm.
he had 3 red zone touchdowns today, and every single touchdown, the crowd got a little bit more excited. You were hearing the 713 chants. I thought they were talking to me. No, they were talking to CJ Stroud and Tank Dell. And bro, and each touchdown had its own story. It was CJ Stroud getting out the pocket, using his legs to create time, and finding takedown. And bro, those catches were not easy. Acrobatic catches, toe tap, and he spun the ball, bro. Tank Dell has been him. And today he showcased that he was a red zone monster, just like he was at the University of Houston.
Yo, man. I've been trying to contain myself. Been trying to contain myself on the U of H blinders that I have sometimes, but I can't no more. I can't. I can't no more, man. I cannot no more. Tank Dell is him. All five
Mm.
eight, 170 pounds of that man. He is him. He's your best wide receiver.
Oh,
He's your best wide receiver. It's not even a you know this, man. There is nobody. How many red zone touchdowns today?
three,
How many? How many?
three,
One more time.
tree.
3 red zone touchdowns today, my boy. He had 22 red zone touchdowns in the last 2 seasons at U of H. That is head and shoulders above everyone else in the college football ranks. Tank Dell is him. He is showcasing himself in front of everyone.
Mhm.
And again, 5 catches, 65 yards in the preseason game 1. Week 2 is upon us on Saturday. Can't wait for that.
Mm.
Tank Dell is absolutely him. and I am so glad he's getting the recognition he deserves. I'm gonna look back at the
Hmm.
receivers that were drafted, and
Oh,
I'm gonna look
okay.
at this.
You're going deep into
Oh
this.
yes, oh yes. The U of H blinders are on right now,
Dude,
buddy.
he's not even on this is why Bet Online is so good because when you go to like DraftKings, Tank Dell was not on the offensive rookie of the year. And shout out to another Texans podcast for the 199. It's either Blicky or Blinky. I can hit a Blinky right now. Shout out to the Jeter. And shout out to another Texans podcast by our guy, the Patrick Storm. And John, I am a surgeon crumpler, man. I
I
cannot
am
wait
a surgeon.
for their continued content. Hopefully, they can have just two regular guys like us on the channel, man.
Right? Jesus, big time.
Did you see that? We just signed Julio Jones. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, bro, I don't think so.
Isaac said, "Bro, if Mills does better than Stroud this game, we got some serious questions that needed to be answered." Well, we saw Davis Mills perform today, and he started 0 for 5 and threw an interception straight to the linebacker. After, he looked okay. Davis Mills did bounce back from that INT, was able to move the ball. Right. None of these quarterbacks were successful, in terms of airing the ball out. It was another, dink and dunk for Davis Mills as well. But, you know, the crowd was just not invested when Davis Mills was out there. And, when someone told you, right, to quit, hyping up Stroud, it's like, you see the difference in quarterbacks. Like the energy is far less when Davis Mills is out there. And it's like the incompletions that happen when he's throwing the football, the interceptions, they hurt a little bit more, right? Because in our eyes, this is a quarterback competition. And CJ Stroud, according to DJ Bienemy, does not. But CJ Stroud today, man, just looked like the better QB.
Look, man, I'm gonna say it again.
Mm-hmm.
I just did my video, and I'll tweet out my meme in a few more minutes. We are big WWE fans, and look, man, my best analogy for this, I said C.J. Stroud had put the nail in the coffin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then a few days ago, Davis Mills kind of resurrected himself and popped out that coffin like the Undertaker.
Mm.
C.J. Stroud is Kane.
Oh.
We are pallbearer,
Oh.
and we are stupid excited, and we are going crazy and going nuts because Davis Mills is back in that coffin, and Kane, which is CJ Stroud, has poured that gasoline on that coffin, set that son of a gun on fire, and is admiring it from a
Mm.
view. That is what this QB competition is. CJ Stroud today ended anything you call a competition today.
Mm.
He was absolutely beautiful today. Sure, he had some overthrows. You can count that on him, put it on his tab. Overall, against the Dolphins, from start to finish, overall, he was really, really good. Davis Mills did not look good. A lot of fans are not invested in him. So if he comes out immediately and doesn't look good, it's going to be a long day for the fans' reaction to Davis Mills. We had a guy in the top row saying, QB2, QB2. I was like, oh, ugh. And he went out there, and I just stopped. I stopped after the interception. Last I checked, he was 1 for 6 with an interception.
Mm-hmm.
I just stopped after that. I don't know what he finished with because we tried. We were looking, and it just wasn't pretty to watch. All
Mm.
right, it was ugly. It was disgusting, and I'd rather watch C.J. Stroud go out there, and I'd rather see him make mistakes. Not that he did. He looked great against that Miami Dolphins defense.
No, and it goes back to what you say, a couple of weeks ago, where you said whenever the lights are on for Davis Mills, it looks like
Mm.
he just doesn't have it together. And I go back to the quote from head coach D'Amico Ryans: "I have not made a commitment as to who will start in the preseason game in week 2 against the Dolphins. The live reps against the Miami Dolphins will determine that." And we just last stream, we were like, is this quarterback competition going to be open again? But no, and I could agree after that interception thrown by Davis Mills and it was 1 for 6, bro. It's just all right. It's I've seen this story before. I've
Yep.
seen this Davis Mills story before, and quite frankly, I think the Houston Texans are just moving on. CJ Stroud, when he's out there, man, it's just miles ahead. And bro, the crowd knows it too. And the Miami Dolphins knew it too. We were hearing them on the sideline talking about, how fast CJ is and how good he was moving the pocket. And Eli Apple, shout out to Eli Apple, called his ass barbecue chicken. He acknowledged me, man. Shout out to Eli Apple for taking the heat.
Eli Apple, boy, my guy stood up, got Eli Apple's attention. Eli turns, and my boy said, "I know barbecue chicken when I see it." And Eli Apple smiled, and
Smiled
that
and
was
pointed at me like this fucking guy.
yeah. And he probably said something. It sure looked like he said something to whoever was next to him. Look, man, how many times have we been saying it? I've been saying it. You've been saying it on this podcast. Come on, man. Davis Mills is inconsistent.
He
That's
is.
just been the label on him. And it's upsetting because, man, Sunday he was making some throws that I was like, whoa, okay, Davis, I hadn't seen this from you in a while, But then today, just like you said Sunday when we did the podcast, I believe yesterday,
Hmm.
like, man, well, it was like, all right, man, maybe Davis Mills has reopened the competition. And I'm like, well, he's inconsistent.
Hmm.
Ruben versus Eli Apple.
Bro,
Oh,
dude, I'll hit a
okay.
double move.
Name me the route. Name me the route you're doing on him.
I'm hitting him with a double move, and I am
Ah,
taking that bitch home, bro. Dude, tomorrow is gonna be worse for Eli, bro. Dude, and here was crazy. I was praying the whole time that he didn't come in front of me. After that, pause. After that, that little interaction we had, he didn't come around us again. If you noticed that.
no, he did not. He did not. I'm gonna get some good rest, and I will be live tomorrow. I
Oh,
will be alive tomorrow.
oh,
I was tired today.
we're
I
tired,
really
brother.
was. I
It's
was really
it's
tired.
the
I'm gonna give you
sun,
that rest.
it really
I'm,
beats your ass.
oh, big time, big time. But I'm gonna get that rest, and you got to be live for the last practice of
Yes,
training,
tomorrow is the
public.
last training camp practice available to the public. So, if you haven't had your chance to go, make it your mission, man. Against the Miami Dolphins, it was definitely fun. A lot of action, a lot of trash talking, indirect trash talking
Yeah,
between, us and the Miami's fans. Now we get to the moment where bittersweet.
a little bit,
Uh,
because it did not came out strong, man. It
right?
was not strong.
Let me paint the picture for everyone who wasn't there today. We seen already enough of the offense. We were like, all right, you know, if you ask me how the offense versus defense went, I would say the game ended up very close, 14-10. Neither offense was, had big plays, but they were both consistently moving the ball. Then we saw on our side of the field our first look of the Miami Dolphins offense to attack Vailoa, Jalen Waddle. He wasn't, dressed out. Tyreek Hill looked like a freaking animal. First play against the Houston Texans defense, everyone in the crowd stands up. We are clapping like we are in an actual game. The most hype I've seen a training camp in years. Tua Tagovailoa darts it up to number 81 tight end for 16 yards. We start shutting up a little bit, right? We're still cheering. Next play. Tua Tagovailoa to Tyreek Hill for a catch and run of 48 yards. And the crowd, dude, we went silent. And the Miami Dolphins fans, they're they're chirping, they're barking like a dog. And I was like, hey, if we're gonna talk our stuff, we got to be able to take it. Then Jalen Petrie sends us home, and I, I mean, I don't want to hype it up and say I couldn't hear nothing, but people were jumping up on the stands. It was loud as hell. It was like we're at a high school football game.
yeah.
Jalen Petrie, 100-yard pick six, takes it to the house, and then runs it outside the gate. Take y'all asses home, Miami Dolphins. That ended practice. It was bittersweet, but it is that bend, don't break mentality.
Hey man, what does the Miko say? It is the swarm mentality, special work ethic, and relentless mindset.
Mm,
That was on full display in the 2 minute drill when the Texans defense came out. We got humbled real quick
we
because we
did.
were,
I
man,
was
we were
talking
loud.
shit.
We were loud. We were like, yeah, yeah. And then boom, boom. And it was like, I
Quick,
was laughing my ass
quick,
off. I was
quick.
laughing. I was like, oh man. And then I don't think you heard me. But it was 2 plays before it happened. When that play happened, and I calmed down and I was
Didn't you
like,
call it though?
yes.
You did, you bastard. Because
I
you were
said
like,
this pick six is gonna feed families.
so I'm yes. So I'm tweeting. You say that my dumb ass is thinking, oh, it's a pick six. I look up and then the Jalen
Literally 2 plays later, Petrie, man, he's there at bedtime with his kid Tua Tagovailoa, and
mm,
he's there flipping the pages on the book. He got that damn book, slapped the damn kid upside the head, told him, and I quote, this is coming from Cody Davis of the Locked On Texans
shout out
podcast.
to
I know
them.
a lot of people, shout out to them. Lots of people tune into them. They do fantastic work. Jalen Petrie, quote, get the F out of here.
Whew.
Go home.
Mm,
That's how you end practice. That's how you end a dub on day one of the joint practice against the Dolphins. Tomorrow. Oh, the Dolphins they gotta be dripping with upsetness. They gotta be dripping angry. They gotta come in tomorrow. They gotta show up tomorrow.
mm.
You don't be the humiliated like you did just like that. Number 5 made a house call, and it was absolutely gorgeous to see. I like yours better. It was like a high school game. It
Mm.
was because I didn't know how to describe it on the YouTube video. I
It
was
was
like, it
so
felt
cool
like a it felt
because
like a game.
yeah, it felt, bro, dude. I like I said, everyone stood up once the defense came out. Like we were ready, bro. We were ready. We were like, bro, we're about to shut these motherfuckers down. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't happen. That Miami Dolphins is so free. I'm sorry, offense is freaking nice.
Yeah.
But to end practice like that, it makes a statement that we are here. And Petrie, if you go back and watch the highlight, he read it the entire way. And I'm not sure if you noticed, what I loved most was the crowd reaction because it started with the first people who saw the interception, right? The way training camp is, it's like a long as you. There's the season ticket holders, then there's the fans who get there early, then there's the fans who get there late. And the fans who got there late were able to see the first interception, and you literally hear the roar just travel along the bench. And as Jalen Petrie runs by you, the cheers are even louder. And bro, it was a good 5 minute celebration after that pick six. The Houston Texans crowd in the stands went absolutely berserk. You had people high fiving each other, jumping up and down. Like this was a live rep, like this was week one, man, against the Baltimore Ravens. It felt like a football game. And when was the last time do you think that crowd was that excited for a Houston Texans training camp practice?
Oh man. Oh man. Um, they were pretty hyped with Hard Knocks. I will say that year in training camp, they were pretty hyped.
Mm,
Specifically, I forgot. I forgot that moment's live. That moment is live.
mm.
Hopkins D'Angelo Hall. If nobody knows, Google that. Look that up. That was a live
I
moment.
forgot, boy.
Yeah, like that one. That one right there. I could see the fans. They were they were loud about that one. But I would argue to say this is the loudest I've ever seen it. I mean, not only did the fans, but you had the whole Houston Texans team rush the field on the pick six, like college football level esque. I was like, bro, can we open
Can we
these
play?
gates? Can we rush on the field like college football style? I
Hey,
would have been nuts if that happened. I would have went nuts.
let's do it
My,
tomorrow.
hey, what's up?
Let's do it tomorrow.
Yeah, but like
If there
it
look
has
look
to end that kind of way though.
that's what I'm saying. If there was a big freaking play to end practice the way it happened today,
Can't stop all of us, right?
hey,
Watch me get that media credential. I told you I'm gonna be on the other side of the barricade.
hey, one way or a motherfucking other, dude. I'm down, bro. I am down. We're just gonna have to tell Hannah and Cal we're so sorry. We're so sorry, but we had to do this, right? It, just the
We did not
excitement.
lead it. D Hopstein going to shut him down, though. Hey, that's going to be an interesting battle to
Mm,
see in interdivision stuff. But man, there was Texas Dolphins was live, bro.
it was fun.
It was a lot of fun, and we got tomorrow. And like I said, man, if the Dolphins
Last
don't,
day of
yeah,
open
man,
training camp practice for the fans, man, and then me and Harley get to take a break and let the credentialed people, do the job for us, and we just comment and react to what they got to say. But bro, as we end the stream today, um, it was a great sign today. You really saw the love of football back in the city of Houston. Like I said, it was just the Texans D against the Miami's offense, but it felt like you were at a real game. That was I can't remember the last time I was this excited, and not pissed off at the Houston Texans, and everyone
fantastic.
around, bro, high-fiving each other, hugging each other. You even saw the old people who were like, I need, move, please, so I can sit down. Now they were dancing and waving their arms, bro. It felt like the Houston Texans are about to make a turn for the good.
Yeah, I was walking to my car, and like three different fans were like, "Yo, bro, man, bro, I know you on YouTube, bro. Hey, I'll let you know Texas gonna win that division."
Dude,
I'm like,
that's the
dude,
that's the hype. People are and I don't want to be that guy just yet
me
because
neither. That's my
because
hot take.
dude, like I don't want to, like I don't want to be that, the hype beast. I don't want to say we're going to the Super Bowl. This is our year, but when you see the little things, the leadership, right? I love this free agent class now that I see it more. Jimmy Ward is the captain of your defense. Dalton Schultz was the star after of today. Devin Singletary has just so much fire behind him, behind multiple fights so far in training camp, and has looked good when he is out there. Man,
Yeah.
the Texans have done a great job. And as we end tonight's stream, Harley, let them know where they can find you, brother.
You can find me at the lead underscore HOU. Type that into any of the social medias, especially YouTube. We have finally reached 4,000 subscribers. My goodness
Hey,
gracious. That was a crawl the last 2 weeks.
yes,
I
sir.
was only 6 subscribers away the last 2 weeks. My goodness, that was a crawl to 4K. But we're on the road to 5,000. That is the goal now. We're on the road to 5K. It has been a great climb. I appreciate everybody
Mm.
throughout all of training camp that has came out to meet both of us, take pictures with us, talk to us, hell, even ask for signatures,
I
man. I
did my
mean,
first one a couple of days ago. I was
really,
like,
yeah, yeah, I saw.
I was nervous.
I've had a few now.
I
Like,
was nervous.
I'm
I was
like,
like, bro, it's just here.
I'm
I'll put it at the
signing.
very bottom so that you still
Yeah,
have
you know,
space
like
for the
I'm
players.
signing a hat with like the players' names. I'm like, what? But I'm gonna sign my name right next to Tank Dell. Shit, you best believe I'm gonna put my name right next to him. Then I'll be like, man, what player was that?
Right?
I'm like, I'll be like, man, that was the GOAT. But I appreciate everyone. Y'all can always subscribe. I give out all the latest on Astros, Rockets, and
Hmm.
Texans, all Houston, all the time.
Hey, congratulations, brother. You definitely deserved it. One of the few channels that really puts in the work. And like I said, it's not just Texans. You do the Astros and the Rockets. You do a fantastic job at that. Bro, you're a manager where you have to get your ass up or at 3:30, 4 in the morning just to try to make it there by 5:30. So, dude, salute to you because this is definitely a freaking grind. And I'm proud to say that we pretty much started around the same time, man. It's good to see that we kept this thing up and now we're almost there. for this being our full-time jobs, man. That's the goal by
Oh
the end of
man,
the season. For me,
that'd be
just type in
nice.
713 Houston Sportcast in the search bar, trying to hit 7,500 by the start of the season. Thank y'all for the continued and endless support, man. This was another fire episode of Believe in the Houston Texans, episode 26. See you guys tomorrow. We will be live again. The last training camp practice available to the public. And I want you guys to have a very blessed night.